Dreams and ambition with enough effort and time come true. I know this. But what happens when you finally get what you want and you realize you hate it? Well, I'm Hector, and after years of chasing big goals in business and in government and making them happen, I've learned something really important that, frankly, a lot of us don't want to talk about. And that is, getting what you want isn't just always what you think it will be. It's not what we hoped. And I still remember getting sworn in at City Hall and coming home and just being overwhelmed by it all and just thinking to myself, like, what did I sign up for here? And we've all had moments where we've got what we wanted, the job or whatever, and it just wasn't what we imagined. The goal was probably right, but maybe the path isn't. And you've seen this in other settings where people go to school, they get into a profession, they dedicate years of their lives to it, only to realize that in the end it doesn't make them happy. And so they end up pivoting. I always wanted to know why that happens. Why do we invest so much time and energy and identity into something when we just want something else when we get there? Well, after looking into this, you've first of all come back to self-sabotage, of course, imposter syndrome and old trauma conditioning and all that. But I think there's something deeper and more interesting. And that is, growth is uncomfortable. Getting what we want often shatters the assumptions that we had about it all. So suddenly the fantasy is gone and the control that we felt that we had is evaporated. And now we just actually have to deliver on it. And that's a lot of work. And that brings us to another truth. A lot of people want the job more than they want to do the job. And the real work in our lifetime is being able to answer one question really clearly, and that is to say, I know what I want. And that's existential as to who we are. And one of the best frameworks to help us get there is I found is Stoicism, a 2,000-year-old philosophy that still holds up today. And what the Stoics said was, build your goals around virtues, not externals. Because if your goal is to be rich and famous and powerful, you can get there. But if you want to stay there, if you want to be okay there, then your expectations must be about how you show up, not just where you show up. That's why so many people reach the top and feel empty and trapped and lost. And so the practice becomes constant reflection, using something that the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. That's where we focus on what we can control, like our actions, choices, and thoughts, and letting go of what we can't, like outcomes, status, and external validation. When we do this, we don't just achieve better goals, we become steadier in the process. And the last thing that's really critical here is flexibility, because the world is complex, your plans are going to change no matter what or who you are. So getting something must be for you and not for someone else's expectations. And sometimes the bravest and boldest thing that we can do is bend a little bit, because getting something and realizing it's wrong means either the goal was misjudged or you have grown. And that's not a failure, that's wisdom. And I think we can all celebrate that.